What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am making an official Yamaha V Star 1100 review today. I've had enough time with the bike where I feel like I could give you guys an accurate review on it now. Put maybe like 1,000 miles on it, so not a whole bunch of miles, but I feel like I know this bike pretty well now. And so here we are with the review. I just got some new tires today, got some new brake pads, and so I guess while I thought I did know the bike to begin with, after getting new brake pads and tires, this feels like a completely new bike. I did not know how much stopping power I did not have because of my shitty old brake pads. So this thing stops on a dime now. I barely even have to touch the brake, and she stops. So first thing I want to say is this is a very comfortable bike. All my other bikes, I had a sport bike before, I had a DRZ 400 before. If you saw my previous video, I'm gonna sound like a parrot, but coming from the DRZ 400, coming from that Gixxer 600, this thing is way more comfortable. For freeway speeds, it comfortably sits at freeway speeds. I will say without the windshield, you know, you are getting blown around a little bit. So I'm not sure how far I would really want to take this bike. I took it on like an hour-long trip, and she performed pretty well. But if I had to do like multiple days on it, it might get a little tiring. So that's the one thing I'll say. But if you're just doing like a 30-minute freeway commute to work every day, this bike's absolutely perfect. I know this bike also has a 650 variant that's really popular. I can't speak on that. But for the 1100, there is a lot of power to be had here. It picks up and goes very well. It's a heavy bike, which makes it very planted and stable on the freeway for the most part. Again, if you're going up, and yeah, I'll cut out in front of me. Anyway, yeah, so on the freeway, you know, you get blown around a little bit with the wind, but it's nothing horrible. And, you know, I was going like 80, and I felt like I was being blown around a little bit. So, you know, that's going 80, right? You're going 65, it's perfectly fine. We're gonna pull up into this park right here. If I can shoot some video on my phone. That's like I was saying, I put some new tires on it. These are the Dunlop 404s, I want to say, on the rear and front. I literally just got them put on today, so I haven't been pushing it too hard. I can't say whether or not that's going to make a dramatic difference just yet, but so far it feels like it's a lot stickier already. The brake pads made a major difference. Honestly, when I first got the bike, felt like it had enough stopping power, but you know, if I got into like a really dicey situation, I don't know if I would have been able to stop incredibly quick. But now I feel like I can literally stop on a dime. It doesn't have ABS, so you know, user error can play into that. But yeah, I mean, after getting the new brake pads, I feel like as long as your technique is correct, then you can absolutely stop very quickly. Some things I learned about that I didn't know until I read the user manual. I don't know if anyone's talked about this, but it does have a helmet lock right here. So you can put your key in there, unlock this, and lock up your helmet. And also right here, there's actually a storage cubby. You can open this, put your key in there, and store, like, it's not a big storage compartment at all, but you can fit a few tools in there. And yeah, I don't have the front fender. The owner told me that he has it and I can pick it up from him. I do need to pick that up from him before he sells it. But yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like the front fender, obviously in the rain, wouldn't be good. But I haven't driven it in the rain just yet because the tires that came on it were from 2016, so I didn't feel comfortable taking it out on the rain with that old of tires. Although the tread was okay on them, you know, I just watched too many videos of people saying that old tires are very unsafe, especially that old. I was thinking about making a video that was basically entitled Best Budget Cruiser Yamaha V Star, because I got this for $2,500, and I've seen some other postings on Facebook. They're going for like $3,000. Even still, I feel like those were a little bit lower miles than mine. This has 11,000. So if you can get one for $3,000 or less, I mean, absolutely nothing to complain about. I got my DRZ 400 for like 3,200. So of course it's a different purpose bike, but you know, if you're looking for a cruiser though, then for $2,500, I feel like this was an absolutely insane deal. Again, like I said, it has a lot of power. It picks up really quick. Highway speed is totally doable. The one thing I'll say is that I live in California. Lane splitting is legal, and I'm not as comfortable lane splitting this wide beast that it feels like in comparison to my DRZ 400. That thing was just so slim, and you know, literally a street legal dirt bike. And that thing, I could get through anyone. I could lane split that all day. And this guy, I damn near clipped some lady's car the other day with this mirror. I don't know how Harley riders do it. I think it's a skill issue, but for me right now, I will say, as like a intermediate rider, I would call myself, lane splitting is not as comfortable as other bikes. I'm sure sport bikes as well would be more comfortable. Actually, I can say they are better suited for lane splitting, because I have my Gixxer 600, and that thing I could lane split very easily. In comparison to this thing, I'm not as comfortable lane splitting. So I guess that's the one thing I will say. Like, if you're in New York or you're in LA and you really are all about lane splitting, it might not be the best bike, but again, that could totally be a skill gap issue. So do with that as you will. This already came with the Vance & Hines pipes, and boy, does it sound good. It sounds really good. When I took it in to get its work done, you know, everyone was like, man, that sounds great. They took it on a test ride, said it feels great. So for $2,500 again, guys, crazy deal on this bike. You know, maybe I'll make another video entitled like Budget Harley, because it looks like a Harley. It looks beautiful. I think it's a gorgeous bike, and only $2,500 instead of getting like a Harley Dyna, which is $7,000 on average. I feel like every time I go on Facebook, everyone wants like $7,000 for those. And don't get me wrong, I love those bikes. Those look beautiful, and you know, you get the Harley prestige and everything. But I mean, $2,500 for something that looks damn near like that, like a Dyna. So if you guys have any more specific content that you want to see, please leave it in the comments. I'm thinking about doing some modifications to this bike. I want to put a passenger seat on it. Not that I have anyone to drive around, but just to have it would be nice. Also, I think some saddlebags would be a good idea, just because, you know, can't really do much. Can't fit that much in a backpack. So if I got some saddlebags, that'd be great. Although I just love the look of it as is. I've also seen a lot of bobber builds, and I'm really pondering it. Although everything I've read is saying that the 650s, you can easily do a bobber build. All you gotta do is literally remove the front fender, put a bobber seat on it, that's it. With the 1100s, it sounds like you have to cut into the frame, and you'll no longer be able to have passengers. And also, I do want to take this on longer road trips, so if I do plan on doing that, I'm going to need some saddlebags, and obviously you can't really put saddlebags on a bobber like that. So we'll see. I feel like I'm leaning toward not doing that. And you know, while the front fender is good if you're riding in the rain, and if I am doing an extended long road trip, like, I would want the front fender just in case I ran into rain or any muddy conditions like that. It does look good without the front fender, so you know, I'll have to see how easy it is to remove it and put it back on. If it's easy to remove and put back on, then, you know, I might just leave it off for the most part, and then when it rains, throw it back on. But we'll have to see. I'll have to do some more research into that. Other than that, I'm really not sure what modifications need to be done to it. I like the footboards. I know some people remove those. uh, I definitely wouldn't do that if it was very comfortable with the footboards. I could put a LED headlight in it, but it looks pretty bright as is, although I think it definitely could be brighter, so that would probably be the one thing. I think that is like an essential mod, adding that LED headlight. I could get an aftermarket seat, but the seat honestly feels like I'm sitting in a Lazy Boy, so I don't know if that needs to be done either. And there are some like rear blinker modifications where you can turn this tail light into the blinker, which would look cleaner, I will say. So I might look into that. But as is, y'all, I'm just gonna keep riding it stock and see how it goes. So yeah, I know this is a quick video, y'all. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about further, please leave it in the comments. I'll make a separate video, or I'll respond to your comments if you have any questions. But I absolutely can wholeheartedly recommend this bike. The one thing I will say is it's carbureted, and there's two sides to that argument, where carburetors are fairly carburetors can be easy to work on once you get them off. So actually, I should say it's not only carbureted, it's dual carbureted. So technically, once you take the carburetor off, it's not horrible to deal with carburetor issues, although it can be. But for the most part, they're usually you can deal with carburetors. And then when you have fuel injection issues, that can be complicated as well. So it's a give and take. I live in California. I'm not in like a super cold environment, so the carburetor's been pretty good for me. We'll see if I have any issues in the future with that. That's the only main concern I have. I've also read that when you start having drive shaft issues, it becomes a big issue. It's not like you fix a part of the drive shaft. You basically have to replace the entire drive shaft. But that's an issue where you're looking at like 50,000+ miles, and we're at 11,000 right now. So I'm hoping that I don't have that issue anytime soon. And I've also read that they can literally go to like 100,000 miles without having a drive shaft issue. So I mean, that'd be absolutely insane. I don't plan on selling this anytime soon. I don't really want anything else. Sport bikes are always cool. I have my Gixxer 600, and I did like it. It just had a lot of issues. I bought it from some straight crackhead who did not treat it well, and so I had a lot of issues. Yeah, I would be interested in sport bikes in the future, but I'm just using it as a daily commuter, and the ergonomics on this, the comfort, is just far superior to a sport bike. I totally understand the Harley bros, because you're just riding a recliner around, so you're not leaned over the entire time. Sport bikes, long rides on sport bikes. I did it once on the Gixxer, and leaned over for that long, it starts to get a little uncomfy. So I plan on keeping this bike for a really long time, and I will definitely keep you guys updated on reliability, and if I have any issues, if I do any more mods. I'm thinking about putting a windshield on it, but God, again, it looks really good as is, so I don't want to ruin the look with the windshield, but we will see. Please let me know again for the third time if you have any questions. I'd love to answer any questions. I will make some videos in the future if I do anything else, and I'm thinking about just doing some vlog videos in the future as well. So please stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, y'all.